Yo, how's everybody doing? It is Mike. Um, I'm going to do my top 20 for 2000 to 2009. This was a little challenge put out by Horrific Nightmare JM. Thanks, Jay. Um, love these little things. Love talking about the movies I like. This particular era had a lot of stuff that I like now. Guys, I'm not a zombie person, not a werewolf person, not a vampire person. I just never, even as a kid, did those movies ever affect me, um, other than make me giggle from time to time. Um, but I do like cheesy, and I do like low budget. So you're gonna have to deal with some cheesy, low budget, sci-fi channel kind of movies. It's just the way it is with me. Um, so I have four honorable mentions that I want to talk about. Actually, there's probably a lot more. But these are movies that never really made it big, and that I watched on the original Sci-Fi channel before it was FY or SYFY. Back when it was, they had movies other than their own CGI crazed movies, um, and then just some others that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and they just don't get a whole lot of love. But to be quite honest with you, I'll watch some of these over the big franchise, Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street, whatever, because truthfully, those very rarely make my top 10 list. So the ones I want to talk about that don't, they're just right under my top 20. The first one I talked about not too long ago, it is actually a werewolf movie, believe it or not. It's called The Beast of Bray Road. I love that movie. I saw that on Sci-Fi Channel back in the early 2000s. Um, just a fun little horror movie. I enjoyed it. I watched it every time, and when I was able to get it on DVD, I did. So another one is It Waits. That's another fun. It's basically a monster of hate. So when they know that you hate yourself and say self-loathing and all this crazy, it comes after you. Does that make it? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I love the girl in it, and I love the freakiness of it. So that's just one that every now and then I'll pop that in just because I want to watch it. Another goofy one that was on Sci-Fi Channel was called Mansquito. Basically, a dude that gets kind of turned into a mosquito and he runs around and stings people. It's you got to watch it at least once to get the cheese factor. Another one along that lines is a movie called Man Thing. This is set in the swamps. Um, just a really fun monster movie. Basically, this man thing goes around and rips people in half, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, basically, yeah, these people are killing each other, or not killing each other, but they're basically killing the environment and in the swamp. So yeah, you get this man thing. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is called Hallowed Ground. That is the last of my honorable mentions. Fun little possession kind of movie. Um, if you ever get a chance to stream it or whatever, find it cheap, pick it up. It's a good movie. All right, so getting into my actual top 20, I'm just going to go through the list, and I'm going to start at number 20. Uh, they don't necessarily fall in this order, they're just the 20 that I picked. So one of them is Wicked Little Things. You know I don't like zombie movies, but this one I do, because they're kid zombies, and it's pretty fun. It's a fun little gory, atmospheric, weird movie. The next one I want to talk about is another movie that didn't get a whole lot of love. It's one of those after hour or whatever movies. Dark Ride. Kind of along the lines of any of the other like Funhouse movies. You have this thing that lives in this dark ride and kills people. Um, yeah, that's a fun one. I love that. I watch that all the time. I'm not ashamed to say it. I like it. Uh, the next one I put on here was the remake of Dark Christmas. It's probably pretty high up on my list. I really enjoy watching this movie all year long, not just at Christmas. Um, a lot of gruesome kills in this one. This guy is just crazy about eyeballs, which we didn't get really in the first one. So yeah, it's pretty intense and has a lot of actresses in it that have a little bit of a name, even if they are just Hallmark actresses. But yeah, good movie. I liked it. Um, of course, Trick or Treat came out during this time, and that is probably one of my favorite anthologies. It ranks really high up there. A lot of fun. I loved each one of the little vignettes. So good. Another one that tanked and nobody really talks too much about it. I don't even think it has a Blu-ray release. It's Darkness Falls. Basically a wicked tooth fairy kind of person um, that terrorizes kids at night because she was burnt to death by unhappy townsfolk because she had like these collection of teeth, mainly I think because she was killing kids. But yeah, I like that one a lot. This one probably would be right up in my top three, and that's the original Wrong Turn. I also liked Wrong Turn 2, but that first Wrong Turn scared me senseless. When I went saw that at the theater, I just was not prepared for that at all. And that is kind of my every time I see somebody that's a little odd or you know storing up toilet paper, I just look at them and say wrong turn. So yeah, that's a fun movie. Another movie that I enjoy, and I never hear anybody talk about this movie. It's called The Pool. Such a fun little horror movie. Lots of interesting kills. This pool like has a life of its own. It's possessed, and yeah, it's better than the title makes it. It's just a good movie. I loved Valentine. That's the next one on my list. That would probably be somewhere up near my top five. I liked Denise Richards in this. I was shocked that they killed her character off in this. Spoiler alert, sorry. But I did enjoy this. I know it's very by the book, predictable. I don't care. I like predictable sometimes. Sometimes when I'm watching horror movies, I just want to have fun. I don't want to have to think. I don't want to have to get depressed. I don't want to have to be dark. I just want to have fun. So, it's a fun movie. That's all I'm saying. The next one is actually Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I liked them both. I did like 1 a little bit better than 2, but 2 was fun in its own way. A lot more kills in 2. Um, I know people give this movie grief because of the perv that directed it or whatever. I don't care. You know, you can't help. You can't. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. I just can't. I like the movies. I don't know who the director is. I couldn't even tell you his name. I don't even know if it's the director. It could be the producer. Could be the. I don't know. But I just know that there's some kind of perviness that went on with somebody on that cast. It's sort of like it's really hard to hate the Cosby Show just because Bill Cosby was a perv. I mean, I didn't watch it necessarily for him. I watched it for some of the other characters. What do? Do you just stop hating everything because there's a perv on it? I don't know that there'd be very much on to watch because they just got caught. Who knows what else goes on? All right. Oh, shouldn't touch my face. Shouldn't touch your face because the. Speaking of horror movies, another movie I love from this particular time is Dead Silence. Love that movie. A lot of fun. Interesting concept about this, demon doll, whatever, It's fun. And it's just a fun movie. And she rips your tongue out. Yeah, yikes. Cloverfield came out during this time, and I love Cloverfield. It's a fun monster movie. Wolf Creek 1 and 2. Did 2 come out in this time? I can't remember. But I love the first one. Oh my god, that's an Australian one. So I do like at least a few foreign films. Yeah, that one scared the bejesus out of me. And was it kind of based on true events? I think so. I don't know. A lot of people give this next movie a lot of hate, and that's The Grudge. Uh, I'm glad y'all like Chinese films, Korean films, Japanese films, Russian. Yay! Um, I don't care. I enjoyed The Grudge. Um, I'm not going to watch the foreign film necessarily because I don't care. I'm not foreign. So I have my little American films. I'm happy with that. If somebody gave me a copy of the foreign version of The Grudge, I would watch it. I mean, I've watched numerous foreign movies with subtitles. That doesn't bother me. But you want to know something? I'm not going to hate on a movie just because everybody says the foreign movie is better. Good for that foreign film. But I like The Grudge. I like the people in the movie. I thought it was interesting. I had never seen anything like it. So yeah. Going along with that is The Ring. I like The Ring. I like the American version of The Ring. Um, I love the main actress in that movie. I thought she was. Can't think of her. I know she's Australian. I know she's blonde. Naomi Watts. There we go. I love her. Thought she was good. And Sarah Michelle Gellar was in The Grudge. So yeah, love those two movies. Next one I want to talk about is Sorority Row. It came out about towards the end of the, like maybe 2009, 2008, somewhere around there. It was later in the time frame. But yeah, love that movie. A lot of people say, come on, people, they're horror movies. Just enjoy them. My Bloody Valentine remake, love that one. That's probably right towards the top of my list. Friday the 13th remake, another one people want to hate on. Why are you hating? I can understand hating a little bit on Jason Goes to Hell because that wasn't Jason. That was possession, whatever. And I'm not hating on that one either because it has its merits. I mean, it has some really cool gore effects in it. It is not my favorite Friday by far. As a matter of fact, it's probably towards the bottom of the list, but I don't hate it. But I did love the remake, and everybody, the characters were just there to get killed. Yeah, that's the point of a slasher flick. They get killed. I've never understood that. I've never understood that argument. If you want character development, watch Gone with the Wind. Good Lord. I also like The Orphan. I thought that was a cool little twist on a horror movie. I enjoyed that one. That little old woman freaked me out. She was something else. I also love The Collector. That was one that I got from you guys. I had never heard of it before, and had never even bothered to watch it. Now I have them both, and yeah, that movie is intense. I loved it. And then the final ones I have on here are Final Destination 1 and 2. Those are probably right at the top for me. If not my number one, at least my number two. I love Final Destination. I know the third and the fourth one aren't that great, but I don't care. I enjoy them because, yeah, I just do. That's how I roll. All right, guys. So that is my top 20 for the years 2000 to 2009. I don't know what he's going to throw at us next. Sorry I didn't do the horror comedy because, truthfully, I don't enjoy that particular genre, so I don't have a lot of those movies. I don't watch a lot of those movies. There are a couple that are fun, but yeah. Chillerama just didn't do it for me, guys. Sorry. Anyway, so that is my list. Jay, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye. Hope I wasn't too snarky. I'm really in a snarky mood. Sorry. Bye.